Hey friends, this is Eunice. Thank you for joining me today. Today I just wanted to share about something that I realize is a life skill. It's something that I think that we need to teach our children, but it's something that we teach our children through demonstrating it in our own lives. And so I'm going to read from 1 Corinthians 13 and just a verse ahead of that, which is, "And now I will show you the most excellent way. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." Now, why I am sharing just a very familiar scripture with you this week is because I think it's something that I am reminded of that we as the body of Christ really need to cling on to in this hour. I feel like just there's been so much noise in the news, so much noise just over social media, and there has been a lot of contentious opinions and thoughts. And I think that something that I'm realizing is really just, when I read someone's comment on Facebook or something, I'm realizing, man, is this person demonstrating love? Is this person as proclaiming themselves as believers, showing the love of Christ through this post? And I think that's something that I need to remind myself all the time. I think that when I was younger, when I was younger, I used to value being right so much. And one time a friend challenged me, "Eunice, what is the point of being right if you're not showing love in the process?" And I think that's a challenge that I want to really share with each one of us listening is, if we are right, is that enough? Like when you look biblically, is being right enough? When you look through all the scriptures, is being right enough? Because I think what the Lord is speaking to us in 1 Corinthians 13 is really showing us actually being right isn't enough. Actually, what is most important is that, are we loving in the process? Are we loving our children? Are we loving our spouses? Are we loving our neighbors in true biblical love? Now, why I really bring this up today is I was just thinking about, where are kids? I guess I've been troubled by people who are adults in the news or on social media just spouting their opinions. And sometimes people's opinions are massively troubling. You can tell they're coming from a place of just extreme anger. And these are actually believers, or at least people who are professing to be believers. And that's where it just really troubles me, is I'm like, man, this person is professing to be a Christian, and in the name of Christ, they're spewing hate out of their mouth through this comment. And that's something that I just felt like really challenged by. Do I do that in my own life? Do I do that? Am I demonstrating that to my children? Something about saying sorry, I think it's so valuable because it shows just a sign of humility. Now, I don't mean saying sorry for things that you didn't do wrong. I mean saying sorry and taking ownership for a mistake that you've made in your life. Now, this past week, something that's come up is two ministers that I follow very regularly on social media. I also follow, their blogs, and I listen to their sermons regularly, and I have read a majority of their books. Now, that's what I mean, like, by two ministers that I follow. Something I loved to see on social media last week was they apologized for mistakes that they had made, and they owned it. And they just blatantly said, "I am sorry for this mistake." Now, I loved their demonstration of humility, because to me, a leader is not someone who always gets it right. To me, you're not human if you get everything right all the time. Okay, that's the reality of life. In Romans 3, it says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." Now, what that means to me is every single one of us, including our leaders, whether it's leaders in the home, whether it's leaders at work, whether it's leaders in the church, whether it's politicians, all of us fall short of the glory of God. And so that means that we are going to make mistakes sometimes. The thing to me is a sign of a true leader, though, to me, is when someone makes a mistake, they own it and say they are sorry. What terrifies me is when leaders make mistakes and they try to cover it up, or they try to blame it on you. That's what terrifies me. So I really was happy to hear these leaders that I regularly follow apologizing on their social media platforms for a mistake that they had made, for something that they had said about the elections. Now, what was crazy to me is the raging comments that they got. Now, I wish I could have just turned off the comments in the Facebook Live and things like that, but honestly, I don't know how to do that. And so I had to read some of them as the leader was talking and apologizing. And it was just crazy to me how people were responding. It's like they are demonstrating Christ-like humility, and people are raging at them in anger, like you're an idiot, how can you apologize for that? And I'm just like, wait, he's doing a good thing and you are angry at him for doing the good thing and owning up to his mistake. And so that's when I realized, maybe it's not easy for some people to say that they're sorry, even people of God, people who profess to be people of God. And then I just thought about my own home. Like, okay, so I cannot manage that person on social media, and I'm not even going to comment back. But what are things that I can do in my own life to just demonstrate humility? What are things that I can do in my own life as a wife? When I make a mistake, I need to be able to own that to my husband and say, I'm sorry. And that is how we, as a married couple, we are going to grow in our marriage. And then I can also change that over to my kids. When I make a mistake as a parent, I can say sorry to my child and demonstrate that kind of humility for them, so that when they make a mistake, they can also say sorry and take ownership for that. And so I just wanted to jump on here today and share that with you, because I feel like I didn't think that this was a new concept, but I'm realizing maybe this is for some people. Maybe we grew up in homes where our parents never were able to say sorry to us. And so then maybe we as adults have grown up with that layer of just hiding or shame. And so I just wanted to encourage each one of us as we move forward in 2021, we as believers, maybe that was never demonstrated for you in your family, but that's something that you could bring into your home. And that will bring life, trust me. When we can own our mistakes to our children, when we can own our mistakes to our spouse, we can own our mistakes to our friends or whoever we are in relationship with, when we can own those mistakes, it breathes life back into that relationship. And so I would say that, and I'm just going to share this like as a minister's wife. My husband, when we were in our 20s, he was a pastor. And we were pastoring people our age, or even some people that were older than us. And when I look back to that time, in my 30s, there was this very reflective period in my life where the Lord was doing a deep healing process in me. And I remember he was bringing up people that I led in our 20s that he wanted me to say sorry to. And the reason being is I did my best as a pastor's wife in my 20s, but there were mistakes that I made. I did not have it all together. I also did not necessarily know what I was doing. And the way that I am, though, is I think there were a lot of times that I just thought I knew what I was doing and I barreled forward with it. But there were things that I feel like it really hurt people's hearts at times. And the Lord challenged me, Eunice, will you write them and apologize for that? Like, you have prayed to me and repented for it, but now the Lord was showing me the next level of my healing, which was clearing up the air with some of these people. And so whoever the Lord brought into my mind, I wrote them an email of apology. And I just said, hey, I'm so sorry. This is where I'm at now in my life. Would you please forgive me for 8 years ago when I said this to you? And I think that the majority of the people wrote me back saying, hey, Eunice, like, thank you for saying that. I, of course, totally forgive you. So much time has passed, or, whatever. That might happen sometimes. Sometimes people won't forgive us, but that's their journey with the Lord. And so for me, I just felt like the Lord was inviting me to at least be right with those people that I still had contact with. And I feel like I was all the more blessed for it. I feel like our relationships were able to flourish again. Yes, they were distant, but now they weren't distantly strained, maybe. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I think that a mark of a true leader, whether they're a leader in the home, the workplace, the church, in politics and government, like, I don't know where you're a leader but the true mark of a leader, and I want to demonstrate this for my kids, is yes, we will make mistakes, but when we make mistakes, can we come before the Lord? Can we come before other people and say that we're sorry and receive the Lord's forgiveness? And that's something that I really think is so important for us to teach our children as they are growing up. I mean, it's amazing to me. I have an 18-year-old now. And when I just see him and the young man that he is growing to be, I pray that when he leaves the home, he is going to be able to just be a true leader and adult in owning whatever he has done, knowing he'll make mistakes, but being able to run to the Lord in those mistakes, being able to come before the Lord and come before people and be able to say, hey, I was wrong. I am sorry, and I'm changing. And I didn't realize that that's such a basic thing for us as humans that we need to learn. But I'm realizing the more and more that I read the news and stuff, that this is actually a basic thing that we all need to learn. And so I just want to encourage everyone listening. Maybe you've never done this yet in your house, and that is okay. Today is a new day. And this is a new year, and this is a new year that we can just own whatever we've done, give it to the Lord, and really come right before people, regardless of how they're going to respond, but really just be that person of integrity before the Lord and before others. And that, to me, is the mark of a true leader. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you are having an amazing week. Bye-bye.